last night there was enough people. We reached critical mass, and there was enough people they just didn't come around. Apparently, discretion is the better part of valor, and the police did not show up. People were there all night long. People were enjoying themselves all night long. They were drumming, they were dancing, they were playing music, they were talking about serious subjects like what's going on, brothers and sisters, all night long. Now we're here to let them away. I just heard from Supervisor Maher's office. He had called me that the chief of police gave a briefing saying that we were a bunch of anarchists, they were buckets full of shit, that our health situation was dangerous and possibly destructive, and we should be allowed to continue.
David, what we need down here is for you to justify the legal counsel. They're trying to keep us from having legal counsel for them by saying we're leaderless. I'm not saying I'm a leader, but I am legal counsel, am I not?
Well, there you are in my eyes.
Okay, I've got a plenary unanimous consensus vote of confidence over 3 weeks old. If they want to talk to somebody
most of the people
legally,
since, well, they want to talk to everybody. When
I understand. No, this is just for...
Well, this is something, but let me ask you this.
All right.
You've come here, you're going to speak during the public comment.
If I can.
Well, nobody's turned away. Anybody come for public comment gets to speak. They do not start their proceedings until after public comment.
Right, I just affirmed that. Now, I have sent a demand to the mayor and the Human Rights Commission regarding the dirty tricks that are now being done by the police commission and police chief, which you were talking about last night, having them say that we have a sanitary and health hazard when they created it themselves. We had porta potties, and they took them away. They took them away last night in order to justify.
We're going to say all this in public comment, are we not? You're just going to say you're the legal counsel.
I am, until it's taken away.
Okay, well there we are.
Can I ask what's your role as legal counsel?
I'm a constitutional lawyer, and it is to profess the First Amendment. Also, the sheriffs need to be oath keepers of the Constitution. The Fourth Amendment right to a home, coupled with Griswold v. Connecticut, the right of privacy from the Supreme Court of the United States. You cannot have the privacy that they were talking about without having an enclosed space vis-a-vis the Fourth Amendment home. Therefore, the right of a First Amendment demonstration to house themselves and to take care of the problem here with homelessness, where a person gets a shelter where they get to sleep in a chair or not at all, as well as not enough food for the elderly, not enough buildings or coverings or shelters of any sort, that we must allow this and provide the sanitary services, the public health services, and the pickup of trash.
So what
we had those happening until they used those in order to punish us and try to make us move. I've been in contact. I have not had return from the mayor or the Human Rights Commission or even the supervisors. I've had a couple of conversations, one conversation with Ross Mikarami, who's running for sheriff. I know that my friend here, David, has been in contact with John Avalos. I've heard that there are several other supervisors who have been in contact with other people, but none of them have come to me to sit down and try to deal with this in a legal manner. I've had to file a claim with the city attorney yesterday after making a statement, which the audio should be available in front of the mayor's office, regarding the lack of First Amendment protections, and in fact, the brutality that they practiced twice based upon changing shift commanders and their abuse of discretion. There is no unified policy at this point. There is only an abuse of discretion where every commander decides for themselves what the First Amendment means. A municipal corporation does not supersede the United States Constitution nor the Bill of Rights. And I don't care whether the police think they can follow a mere statute without even saying the contents of it, because there are legal cases around it, as I was told. They told us that sleeping bags were the same thing as tents. I talked to Captain Mahoney myself, and he said it was like a football event, that we had paid for tickets and sat in the bleachers and had to put up with the elements. Is this insane? Is this made up on the spot? I'm talking about let's get together and do some reasonable planning to take care of the problems. We are a wonderful city, but we're not wonderful if we cover over the problems by saying we're wonderful.
So in your mind, this is kind of a class action. If it applies for the camp, if the arguments you're putting forth applies to the camp, it applies to everybody similarly situated. What would you have you thought about what you're going to say in public comment?
I was going to talk about the police brutality issue. 'Cause I was one of the ones
She
affected
was
by
one
that.
of those affected, dragged around, arrested, in a totally unnecessary event.
Yeah, the two guys, I don't know if I told you, the two guys who were arresting me, were putting the zip ties on my hands. One of them was like, wait, why is she getting arrested? And the other guy's like, I don't know, they just said take her. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Yeah, both of them. They had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, Governor, we're waiting for the public comment for it to open up so we can get this back now.
That's what I said.
And so I'm asking people, we were talking about you, we all are going to have our 2-minute fame to
Right.
know how we feel.
Right.
So this is a good chance to let people know what you would say in that 2 minutes.
I wrote it down actually. That's
Okay, here we go. This is your
It says, it is self-evident that the members of this committee are using rhetoric to manipulate public opinion and maintain control of specific agendas that are not in the public best interest or free will, therefore monopolizing resources which are vital to the health and well-being of the people of the city of San Francisco, furthermore plunging some of our neighborhoods into poverty levels that are inhumane. As a working person and resident of the city, I ask that the people of San Francisco help us at Occupy SF, an autonomous movement for global peace and true direct democracy. Thank you. General Assembly at 6 p.m. Justin Herman Plaza. Thank you.
Okay. Now,
Should I
okay,
say
good.
that?
Well, what numbers are you
That was
talking?
really fast.
It is.
Too fast?
Yeah, I didn't really understand very well what you were talking
Slow
about.
down.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I
Slow
knew it was
down a
slow.
bit.
It was really
Yeah, but when you say the members of the committee, when you're going to accuse the board of supervisors of doing, don't do that. If I may say, there's 5 members of the board of supervisors who support us. Okay, the progressive. So you say the police department. You could say the 1%, but the
Don't accuse the board of supervisors. is what it says.
Exactly.
But they are using rhetoric.
Well, but some of them support us. They're using rhetoric. They're open, but they're not members of the 1%.
It's not just about Occupy SF. I mean, I love this movement and I'm fully a part of it, but it's about the city too. I mean, they've plunged the mission. Well, not necessarily the mission, but they've plunged Hunter Point and Bayview and portions of the mission and portions of other neighborhoods and the Tenderloin specifically into inhumane third world poverty intentionally by manipulating.
Well, say some members of the board of supervisors, because there's 5 who support us, who know what's going on. They're progressives. They support us. Avalos, Eric Marr, the 2 Davids, Chu and.
I haven't seen these guys down there supporting us.
Well, but Jane was. Just for good politics, say some members.
Okay. Okay. So can I? If I say some, it is self-evident that some members of this committee are using rhetoric to manipulate public opinion and maintain control of specific agendas that are not in the public best interest or free will.
You say several.
What's that?
You say several. You're supposed to say
Self-evident that several. Okay. And then I say, therefore, monopolizing resources which are vital to the health and well-being of the people of the city of San Francisco.
Because Eric Marr, for instance, they're putting out a resolution to support the occupation, and we have 5 members anyway that will vote. But I know will vote yes to support the occupation.
I was introducing a resolution today with support from colleagues, but I'll pull it back in deference to Supervisor Avalos, who says that he's going to work on it. I know a number of social justice groups are meeting tomorrow to clarify what demands there are in the various diverse groupings within the Occupy SF and Occupy Wall Street West that's going on. The resolution that I had authored with my staffer, Nick Pagalatos, today really was focused on many of the same things that Supervisor Avalos mentioned, even some issues that the mayor had brought up. And the resolution was really strongly holding the police accountable for the crackdowns and to support free speech and the right to assembly. I do want to say that the issues, whether it's in Oakland or San Francisco or in the 1,500 other cities and places around the U.S. or in the several thousand places around the world that are going on, that I wanted to focus on how we bring an end to suffering in San Francisco's neighborhoods and communities with the end of the foreclosures and other issues and the unemployment and the suffering of food insecurity that people are having in our neighborhoods. So we were trying very hard to make it focused on allowing people to organize to rise up in our neighborhoods here and to hold banks and big businesses accountable to the mess that they've made this country into at this point in history in America. So it was an effort to salute the movements that are growing around the U.S. and around the country, but I'll defer to Supervisor Avalos to bring other language forward that really speaks to the spirit of the movement that's growing here and around the world as well.
Sing my favorite one. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man when I woke, had shackles on my feet. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but won't be worried long. 20 more links of chain around my leg. I have 20 more links of chain around my leg.
You know, we're representing the 99%.
Chain around my leg and on each link, initial of my name. Where is your humanity? I asked that judge, hey, what's gonna be my fine? I asked that judge, yo, what's gonna be my fine? I asked that judge, hey, what's gonna be my fine? 21 years on the Rocky Mountain line. Cool.